All right, guys, we are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, welcome to another episode of Travel Chat, where we talk about the topics that you guys voted on. And today we have two very special guests. We have Bob from Seattle, and he is living in the Philippines, and he will get to share his typhoon experience. And then we have Mark from San Juan La Union, and Mark had to go through a crazy quarantine experience. He was in Bangkok, and then he left here, and after I think 5 days, he blew a positive COVID test, and then he had to go through the 14-day quarantine. I think today is Mark's day of freedom, and we get to find out what that's all about. So let's welcome these guys. Let's welcome them to the stream. I'll add both of them. Hello, guys. Welcome.
Hey.
Hey, Vern.
Good morning.
Let me know if you can hear me.
I hear you great. I hear you're both great. You're coming in good. And I sound okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give each of you guys about 20 minutes to tell your story. And then at the end, I'll let both of you guys, we'll kind of scrub through the comments and you guys can answer any questions that anybody would have. Does that sound cool?
Sure.
All right, man. I'm ready.
All right, let's hit it. So first we're going to start with Bob. Now, let's see. Are you still there, Bob? I'm trying to see if your audio's going.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
I'm
cool.
here.
All right, let's go like this. Okay, so here's the backstory. When Bob and his special lady were in Cebu, northern Cebu, they decided to head south and head home. And they were going to cross at the south end of Cebu Island at a port called Liloan Port. Now, it's about a 30-minute ride to go across from Liloan over to Negros Oriental Island. Now, when Bob got there, he found out that the port had closed and he could no longer cross over. Now, the typhoon was more dangerous the farther north you got. And if Bob could have crossed at that time, it would have been even safer going across. But what happened is you took a place right on the ocean. Now, when the typhoon was going through, I was talking to three people. I was talking to somebody in Cebu City, I was talking to you, and I was talking to somebody in Cagayan de Oro. And everybody's story was kind of freaking me out because I'm like, oh my God, you guys are in such a bad place to go through this. And I worried about you the most, Bob, because you were in the most dangerous place, in my opinion, being right on the ocean with possible storm surge and everything else. So
Yeah.
why don't you take it off from here? I'll give one more snippet here. When we had chatted, you told me that waves were coming in and that your signal was bad. And all of a sudden, I lost contact with you. And I'm like, oh my God, is Bob okay? Did he survive? And then I didn't hear from you for a long time afterwards. And I was really worried. So why don't you kind of take off from there? What on earth happened? Because I haven't even heard the whole story.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to it, but I'll try to keep it short. But yeah, we went over to the island there, Cebu. We just had to do some immigration stuff, and so we planned initially just for one day, and so we didn't take a suitcase. We didn't have anything. We weren't prepared. We didn't wear jackets. We didn't have extra clothes. We didn't have anything. No umbrella, nothing. And I saw a little thing online about the possible typhoon or whatever was forming and stuff, but they get like 20 a year, and they get a lot of different possibilities of a typhoon coming and whatever, and I'd never been through one, so I was like, okay, well, I'm sure if it's really serious, they're gonna sound the alarms or whatever and stuff. So so man, we had to go over for that particular day. I had to get a biometric scan, and they only do it on that day. So we went over there, and well, we ended up staying one extra day because she has family over there she hasn't seen in like 2 years because of all the lockdowns. So we thought, well, we'll stay one extra day. So it's already an extra day with same clothes on and everything, and so at some point I was like, man, this typhoon thing looks like it's getting serious. We better head out of here. And so we did, but where we were at was Cebu City, and it's like a 5-hour ride on a bus down to the port where we need to cross. And so on the way down, at some point, while we're on the bus, the Coast Guard shuts down all ferry travel. And so we're about an hour away, and all of a sudden I see everybody start whispering on the bus. Somebody got word that they shut down the port, so I was like, there's
Right.
no way we're gonna get stuck on this bus, man, after 5 hours. So sure enough, we get there and it's a line of buses full of people and all these big trucks, and everybody's just standing around. And so we waited a while, and I was like, what do we do? Like, we can't just sit here on this bus and
Right.
brace for the typhoon. I mean, we're at the port on the water. And so I had to make a decision. I was like, man, we gotta, when things like this happen, you have to make a plan and execute. And so
Mm-hmm.
I said, we got to get out of here first thing, and we got to get somewhere safe. So I started looking at local resorts and stuff in the area, and there wasn't much. And so I found one, and I looked at the building, and I mean, I was looking at the structural, buildup and seeing, okay, in a typhoon, does that look like something that'll hold, or because I'm not renting a room at the Bamboo Shack, no way, man.
Right.
So, I mean, the only thing that had me worried
Mm.
was it was right on the water. I mean, it was smack on the water, and I was like, I don't know. So anyway, we went there. I just went ahead and booked a room online, and it was just before dark. That was the other thing too. I was like, if we're gonna do something, we got to do it like right now. It's gonna get dark, and
Right.
travel is sketchy. I mean, we're in an area where it's just the port. There's no town, and there's just these little what we call pedicabs, motorcycle little cab thingy, and so we had to get a ride. And then of course, it's starting to rain a little bit and whatever. But the thing is it was actually still the day before the typhoon was supposed to hit. It was
Oh, I
that
didn't
night
know that.
before. So I'm like, why did they shut down everything, so soon? Because at that time the water was smooth. But turns out there's a
Okay.
whole backstory. But anyway, they're just trying to be safe, err on the side of caution. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we got a place, and the building looked pretty awesome. I mean, it was pretty new. We talked to the owners; they were really cool, and they were like, "Hey, don't even worry about it. This place is built. We had a engineer and an architect that are familiar with places that are supposed to withstand like earthquakes and all this other stuff. They said this thing will survive a direct hit from just about anything, and they explained how it was built. And I was like, okay, sounds good to me. And I know about building. I mean, I built a lot of homes and stuff, been around construction and stuff. So I knew what I was looking at. And I was like, yeah, this thing's solid concrete and steel reinforcement. I mean,
Wow.
it's good to go. The only thing that had me nervous was being, again, on the water, and with storm surge, you can get a storm surge that is just unbelievable, that will wipe just about anything out. And our
Right.
room was on the second floor, and the only
Mm.
way to escape was to go down a set of stairs down to sea level to run up a
Eee.
different set of stairs to escape. Well, with storm surge, once you see it, it's too late. So I don't know. I was a little nervous about that, but so anyway, it got scary just pretty quickly. Um, we were there, things were good, and then just slowly but surely the waves started getting bigger, the wind started picking up, and then at some point it seemed like every hour it doubled in intensity, and that's when you and I started chatting, and I was like, man, I don't know, this thing's it's picking up like every hour. The waves are twice as big, the wind's twice as fast, and the rain's twice as hard. And that's when I started to think, man, this is serious, boy. This is like
Mm.
no joke, because I mean, I've been in big storms, I've been, in earthquakes, like, I mean, I never been in a tornado, but I would imagine this is the closest thing to it, or, just another hurricane. What we call hurricanes in the US, it's what they call
Right.
typhoon here.
Right.
Some people don't know what's the difference between typhoon and hurricane. It's just the word. That's it. Nothing.
Right.
So, but anyway, yeah, it got. I started filming about every hour or two just to kind of show the difference, and then of course it gets dark at 5:30, so it
Right.
it didn't hit till quite a while later, but so it was like, well, I can't really film what's happening in the dark, but I had a flashlight, and man, it got so bad. The wind was just, as you can imagine, in a hurricane. I mean, everybody, I'm sure, has seen videos of it and stuff, but this thing was just a huge typhoon. Well, they call it a super typhoon. I mean, sustained winds of 120 miles an hour. And then the gusts were like 170, 180 miles an hour. And it seemed like we had a lot of gusts. I was like, man, this is getting scary. And I was trying to remain calm, in the situation. Inside, I gotta say that was probably the scariest thing I've ever been through. And I mean, I've been in motorcycle crashes, car crashes, and I'm no sissy, man. But I'm telling you, this had me terrified. It was, I mean, I guess the best I could describe it is like, when that wind is hitting everything so hard, it's just like if you could picture the weather as like an angry monster that is just so mad that it just wants to kill you and everything around you and destroy everything, and it's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and it's just like I opened the door to go out there to try to get a little bit of footage with the camera, and it was just like it wanted to just rip me out of there and just throw me. It was scary. It was freaky.
Wow.
So
I remember
I
you
had a
saying
flashlight
that
and yeah.
that you felt the wind was trying to kill you. You said it was that crazy. That's scary.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was just like looking into the eyes of a monster, man. Just like that was so angry. It just wants to tear you to shreds and just kill you, and I mean, it's a weird description, but that's the feeling I had, at the time.
Wow. That is scary.
And then I started thinking, I was like, man, this building is fantastic. Like we had water coming in the windows. It was finding a way through just any little crack in the windows. And I mean, this place was built insanely good, and still the water was just finding a way in. It was sheets of water just blowing straight at the glass. And I'm like, okay, I just hope a coconut or a leaf or a piece of metal off the roof or something doesn't come flying through this window, but
Right.
it held up good. But man, I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, we're surrounded by these people that live here in these little houses that are, I mean, some of these things aren't even nailed together, they're bamboo tied together,
Right.
and I've seen like people have metal roofing or something. It's not fastened. Like they'll throw a couple used motorcycle tires on the top of the tin roof to hold it down, and that's
Right.
it. And man, their stuff, if they ever find their house parts again, they're a mile away, So anyway, we survived it, but man, I'm telling you, there's no way to describe something as powerful as that, and it's just terrifying. It really is. And we were fortunate enough to be in a place that was safe, but yeah. So, but yeah, then the next morning, after things calmed down, then it's like look out the window and just say, oh my God, like you know what happened, but all you can say is like, what happened? Like there is stuff everywhere. Trees are stripped bare if they're still standing, there's stuff. There was one thing we were watching, man. There was this big out in front of us at a resort that was next door. There was a big, beautiful dive boat. This thing was big boat, and there were guys on board the boat. I could see the flashlights out there, and I was like, what are they doing on that boat, man? Like they got to get off that thing. And at about 10:30 p.m., it's dark and stuff, and I had been trying to watch out there because I saw like a light, and at about 10:30, that light was gone, and I was like, oh, God, I hope they just turned off the light and were bracing themselves, because that was about the time the waves were getting huge, man. Waves were coming in onto shore, over the, into the swimming pool, and we next morning the boat was gone, and I said,
Oh wow.
man, that boat's gone. I don't know where it is, but we walked downstairs to kind of look around and walk through all the junk that was everywhere, and the boat was next door in about 1,000 pieces. And so
Whoa.
luckily the guys had made a last minute decision to swim to shore, and in the
Wow.
massive waves and wind, and they got off that boat just before it smashed into the, I
Oof.
mean, this thing was demolished. We're talking like, probably a $200,000 boat or something, and it was just
Wow.
nothing left of it. It was just a big pile of rubble.
Oh my
So
gosh.
power was out, of course, all communications out, and of course, everybody's trying to get a hold of us, and her daughter was over at her mom's, which is across the water, and then up north a little bit. Well,
Mm.
that area got hit super hard too, but we had no communication. We had no way to get home, to get over there. So we were stuck there another 3 days, with no word
Oh
of
wow.
anything, anybody. And I mean, we were really, really worried, and because we're looking at the devastation around us, and we're thinking, man, if that thing was on the path that we saw that it was on,
Mm.
where her daughter was, and even our house,
Oof.
um, man, we don't know what's going on. And so we were at the mercy of the Coast Guard opening up the uh, travel again, on that ferry. And so,
Right. Right.
and then it was rough because I mean, I'm not going to complain because at least we had a dry place to stay, but the place we were at, their generator was overheating. um, and so
Wow.
I told the owner, I said, hey, I'm a pretty good mechanic. I mean, if you'll let me take a look at it, I can figure out why. And so um, I determined that it was, the thermostat was bad. So I had him pull the
Mm.
thermostat out. It wasn't circulating water, so I had him pull the thermostat out. We put it in a boiling pot of water, and thermostat never opened. So I said, well, there's your problem, And so problem is, there's no parts store. You're not going to just go
Right.
find another one.
No.
We tried to modify that one to make it work a little bit, but it helped a little, but it wasn't exactly right. And so anyway, we had no power, so we had no water.
Ugh.
So we went for like a long time, no showers. We had no extra clothes. And then after
Right.
the
Right.
storm, so muggy. It's just hot and just muggy, like it's so bad. So anyway, it was but then we got out of there finally, and we were so happy to get on the ferry and head over. And on the way over, man, we could see all along the coast, just the devastation. And it's just something that your brain can't. I don't know. It's like you see it, but you don't believe it. You
Mm.
just don't believe what you're seeing, And
Mm.
so we got back over, and then um, there was just no communication. And so we finally got up to where her daughter was, and all the way up there, it's just mass destruction. Like, it's just, if you can imagine just everything just getting smeared off the map, like
Wow.
just
Ugh.
just like if a big hand just came down and just smeared everything just right off. It's trees, everything, down, gone, houses are gone, people are gone. I mean, there's still hundreds of people missing. I mean, little kids, they got swept away. The
Mm.
rivers over the banks. There's one area there where I thought, no way could there ever in a million years be enough water to come over that, because it's about 100 feet wide. They've got
Mm.
concrete walls on the sides of this river that they've put, specifically for flash floods and stuff like that. And I
Right.
would
Right.
say the height of this thing is, from the bottom of the riverbed to the top of the walls, it's got to be, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet in areas, and 100 feet wide. So you can imagine the volume of water that could travel through that. Well, It went up and over. It
Right.
went way up and over. And in fact, the bridge is, like another 15 feet higher than the banks. It went up and over and hit the bridge even, and washed
Mm.
out underneath the bridge a little bit and took everything. I mean, there's
Is
man,
that in Bais? Where was that at, Bob?
that's a whole
Okay.
area from like Bais, Manhoyed, where the like Manhoyed is. If you looked at if the way that it reads, it looks like Manjuyad, but you say Manhoyed,
Right.
but it's where they have the beautiful
Right.
white sandbar with like the little huts built out in the water and all that. It's just a beautiful area, and
Hmm.
all the way up to Bindoy, and that's pretty much the area everybody was talking about. But we started doing relief efforts, trying to help out, and we went
That's great.
farther and farther and farther north, and man, nobody was spared. It's devastation uh, from our house 3 hours north is all
Wow.
just like devastation, So,
Wow.
um, I mean, we just couldn't believe it was like, wow, still clear up here, and yeah. So, but man, I'm telling you, it's just absolutely terrifying. And for these people that are in these little huts and houses and shacks and whatever you want to call them, I don't know how they can even think straight after something like that.
Oof.
And we drive through there and we see these people and they're out picking up what's left of their stuff, trying to find their stuff. I mean, it's,
Right.
who knows where it is. And they're, you know, trying to build themselves some sort of shelter, and all they're doing is just leaning chunks of house parts
Mm.
together, to get out of the sun and or the rain, and make some sort of an area just to sleep, and then try to clean up the mess. But I mean, these people, it's not like in USA. I mean, we
Right.
have equipment, people have tractors. I mean, we have yard tools. They don't have
Mm.
yard tools. They don't have
Mm-mm.
shovels, rakes, and chainsaws and stuff like that. They just don't have any of that. They don't have
Right.
homeowners insurance. They don't have.
Nope.
I mean, they are on their own, and they have no tools. They
Mm.
and it's crazy, Vern. I mean, we drive through there, and their entire lives are just shattered. Just what
Mm.
we think shattered and destroyed to us. In the
Mm.
U.S., people would be just having total meltdowns and crying and who can help me, and what do we do, and somebody needs to help us, whatever. These people are cleaning up the mess. They're smiling. They're
Mm.
just going about what they have to do, and they're helping each other out,
Right.
and I mean, that's
People are stronger than any people I've ever met, and how do they
absolutely,
smile in that? I mean, you're right.
yeah.
Back home, they would be so angry and mad at
Oh,
everybody else, and here they pick up the pieces and they start again. And I think
right.
that's what they've had to do their whole lives. Just
Yeah, they're not
just
looking for somebody to blame, or
no.
or anything. I mean, they're just doing what they have to do. And yeah, like you said, I mean, they're the strongest people, and and they're just great people, and
Right.
they don't sit and cry about it because it's it's in the past. Like, it happened.
Right.
It's why cry about something that's already happened? You can't
Mm.
change it. It's just time to pick up those
Well
pieces
said.
and move forward. So, but
So
so
we
yeah,
got about 2 minutes, and then I need to
oh
have Mark come in. So if you could wrap it up, Bob. So I want to say Bob has done a lot to help people, and I really appreciate all the efforts that you've provided, Bob. So thank you for that. He's done a lot to going out to the communities and offering relief effort and anything that they could do to help out, and that's really huge. That says a lot about you and
yeah,
the people that you've connected to helping. And so thank you for that. Thank you for that. So
yeah,
I'll give you another
yeah,
minute and then I got to bring in Mark, and then
yeah.
in the last 15 minutes, we'll go through the questions.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just decided I can't sit and watch people suffer, man. It's just not in my blood. I can't do it, you know. So I did a GoFundMe thing, and I was just hoping to get a little bit of money just to help out, and I got way more than I expected, and so we've been going nonstop, and I mean, I don't even know what the count is, but we've been taking rice and water and food bags, and then some little candy bags for kids, and also tarps and ropes. And man, we've been going. I rented a truck, and we've been just going just full speed, giving stuff out, and the people are so thankful.
Mm,
And and we've been going far, as far north as we can, and up in the jungles and the hills,
that's
uh,
awesome.
all over the
Good
place.
job.
So yeah.
Good job, you guys. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. All right, so we got to get Mark in here,
All right.
and we'll find out what Mark's got going on. So, Mark has a vlog, San Juan La Union vlog, and Mark basically was in Bangkok, and then he entered back into the Philippines, and on the fifth day, you blew a positive. And tell us your story, Mark. What was that like? What was the experience for you? What has been the cost associated, and where have you had to quarantine? And today is maybe your day of freedom. Let us know about those things because everybody would be curious to know.
All right. Hey, Vern. Thanks for having me on. I want to say I was watching your interview with Bob there, and what I'm going through is nothing compared to like what's happening over
Mm,
there. I really feel for that. I'm really happy that Bob can help out over there. Sounds like
mm,
he's doing good things.
yeah, very good things.
Anyway, I got bits and pieces of it. I just want to let you know I couldn't hear the whole audio, but
Okay.
it's tragic over there. It's
Oof.
really sad. But here, I arrived on January 2nd, and after about 3 days, I developed pink eye, which is fun. My eyes are just
Mm,
now getting better. And then on the fifth day, if you're following Philippine, the whole quarantine thing, they swab you, and then you get the result the next day. So
okay.
mine, of course, came up positive, and
Yeah.
I followed other vloggers. There's other people that they swab negative, and they're out of there 5 days. Very short quarantine, not a big deal.
Hmm.
Um, I will say the first 5 days, it's pretty easy. It's really easy to get through the whole airport as long as because you'll upload everything before you get here. Um, they had me take a taxi after I passed through and got my luggage and everything to my room. So I mean that's kind of
Wow.
how lax it is. I mean it's not like the Philippine National Police put you in a paddy wagon and take you to your hotel.
Okay.
uh, so I'm on day 15. I mean, I've physically been in this room for 15 days. And, and I'm telling you, like, I was in the Navy, and I'm used to, close quarters, 3 racks high on the right side, 3 racks high on the left side,
Hmm.
confined conditions and stuff. But I always was able to go to the galley, walk around the ship, go on the flight deck, get some fresh air. Here, I have not left this room, and it's only like 8 feet by 9 feet, you know.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's like
And then, like, if you're coming here, my advice, I mean, people are on budgets, and I watch your vlog, and I see, your kind of how you live, and I'm on a budget too. I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income, so I spend $1,400 a month. So for somebody on a budget, it's kind of worse because, you don't want to go out and get $100 room. I know people that have
right,
spent like 1,500 for 15 days, and I mean that breaks the bank for a lot of retired people on fixed
right.
income, Social Security.
That's a
So I
lot.
picked a $45 room. Um, it's all out there, so I'm at the Eurotel. I'm downtown, like Ermita here in Manila,
Okay.
and the food is good. I can order my food from the hotel. But my caveat to people coming here is call ahead and ask the hotel if you can order out. Because many people cannot order out. I can't. They won't allow me to order out.
That's insane. I don't know why that is.
I don't know. I have my theories, but I'm not gonna get into them. But well, let's face it. A hotel wants to make extra money on their food. They make a certain profit or whatever, and that's fine.
Right.
I'm not complaining because their food's good here. But if that's a requirement of yours, or say even dietary requirement, like say you are vegan, say you are you gluten-free or whatever it is that you need, you're diabetic, and you have certain food allergies and everything,
Right.
You may need or require a hotel where you can do Food Panda or whatever, and there's very
Totally
few
agree.
out there that will do it.
Totally agree.
Let's see what else is going on. Day 15. So today's the last day for me, the last full day.
Cool.
What happens is it's like on this. Okay, so on the 5th day, you take your test, and it was weird. I got to tell you, like I've seen other vloggers and what they went through. Mine was bizarre. I walk into this room and there's 2 people in like fully decked out, antivirus protection suits, and the whole room is foggy. They have this like mister, and I am not kidding. And this is before I had pink eye, so I didn't get pink eye from this mysterious mist. And I asked them, I said, "What's going on, man? What is this?" And they said, "It's antiviral spray." Far.
Jeez.
I don't make this stuff up. I don't make it up. So anyway, they sat me down, and the weird thing is they did two swabs up the nose, each one, and then 2 for the throat.
Really?
So I would like to know more about that. Like, are they sending one to one lab, or
Right.
they do 2 separate tests for 2 separate different things? They didn't specify. They just told me there's going to be a 2-for deal, and I only paid the cost. If you're wondering, is 2,500 pesos, and apparently they only take cash. So that's another
Wow.
caveat. When you get here, if you can, change to pesos, but that's hard to do before you get here. When you get here, things you need to do before you leave the airport: change money over to pesos. You want to have $400 or $500, $600 worth of pesos on you to order food.
Oh my gosh.
I was lucky. The taxi cab driver, I said, "Hey man, pull over here to this ATM. I want to get some pesos." And of course he's thinking, I want to get paid. So he pulled over. He pulled over, and I got some pesos, and that was real helpful because all my food I paid cash every time they knock on the door. You got to pay cash.
So how much do you need to get in? If you enter the Philippines, how much cash do you need if you have to quarantine? How much do you need in your pocket?
Okay, so my hotel, I paid for the first 5 days with my credit card. They've been nice and come by, and they've been taking my card just to pay the room.
Okay.
So they have like a little electronic reader. They bring it, and it's remote, and they take my card right there at the door, and every day they'll re-up me for another day. Cash is mainly for food for me. I've been spending about, I would say, $200 every, I don't know, like 10 days,
Wow.
And the food here is reasonable. It's affordable. Like I could get pancit canton, pancit bihon for like 150 pesos, $3.
Okay.
A can of beer, for those of you that like to have an adult beverage at night, is 80 pesos.
Okay.
But it's limited. I've already gone through all the food items on the menu, so it'd be nice to order out.
If someone were to come into quarantine, how much cash do they need to have with them to go through quarantine, food? What do you suggest they enter the Philippines with? How much money to keep safe If they have
Okay,
to go
okay.
to a hotel like you're staying, which is not the quarantine hotel, you got lucky and were able to stay there, versus going to a regular hospital stay quarantine. What should a guy come with $1,000, $2,000? What is a low scenario and a high scenario?
Okay, so if you're just going to pay for cash, your room, and cash with all your, for food, I say minimum, if you have a, this is my room is $45 a night, 2,390 pesos a night. I'm going to spend, and I already projected it out for my full 15 days, I'm going to spend $1,200 in a 15-day period.
Wow.
That's room,
Now,
board, and food.
and for a hospital stay, what do you think that would have cost?
I don't know. I didn't
Okay.
think ahead to that. I have travel insurance, so I would think
Okay.
that would either kick in or whatnot. But yeah, you want I wouldn't recommend coming here if you don't have $1,200 just for your quarantine expenses built into your budget.
Okay. Wow. So it's expensive now to enter. Okay.
Oh yeah. And then really do your research. Like I said, you want to know if you can order in food.
Right.
You want to, go check out their hotel menu, see what they have. Look at the reviews. Do your ordinary research. But the other thing you want to know is the main thing is, can you order in and get it in writing? Have them email you back. Yeah, you can. So if you get there and then all of a sudden they say, oh, no ordering of outside food, you get, well, here, look at this email. You said I could. That's why I booked.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. I kind of found a way around it for a couple of days. So I have some friends up in La Union where I live, and they ordered me. One guy ordered me a pizza, and I think I was chatting with you at the time.
Yeah. You told me that. You were so surprised it was Domino's. You were like, I got a Domino's pizza here.
I did. I had no idea it was coming, actually, and I was chatting with you at the time, and I got a knock on the door, and then the guy brought it to me, the front desk guy, or the guy who brings my food, and he kind of gave it to me. He goes, room 430? I'm like, yeah. He goes, this for you? Like, it was a question. And I'm like, let me look. And I looked at the receipt, and I could see my friend's name on it, Mozzie, and because whoever orders from Food Panda, their name's on the receipt. It says purchaser. So I said, oh, that's from Mozzie. And I said, yeah, a friend. I said, thank you. And I took it right away. I wasn't letting him get away with that pizza.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. Give me that damn thing.
Yeah. And I took that pizza, and then, and he was able to do that again for some Burger King. And then in the third day for lunch, he gave me some KFC. So for 3 days, I got some outside food. And then on the third day, the lady from the front desk, she calls me. She goes, sir? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, you can't order outside food. And I explained to her, I said, I didn't order it. She goes, sir, you need to call your friends and tell them not to order you food anymore. And I'm like,
Gosh.
oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't know why the policy is. I think it's just to make money for them. And I understand, but, when you're locked up for 2 weeks, a little comfort food or something goes a long ways. It really does.
You should have the option to order at your expense something into your room. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. If they get to pick it up and bring it there, unless they're somehow worried about exposure to you, maybe, I don't know, maybe they can leave it on a table like you said, then they don't really have any exposure. So I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but what do you do?
Yeah, how they roll here, I wish I had a table right outside and they could just leave my food there, because in the morning, I'm not a morning person, as you probably well know now. I miss the little doorbell ring, and I don't hear it. I'm sleeping. And then, so I get up, and then I'll call the front desk at 10, and I'll say, hey, I didn't get breakfast. And she goes, oh, well, breakfast is only till 9:30.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, and my breakfast for $45 is included. So I miss out on my free breakfast. They just don't leave it at the front door.
Well, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are, small things. I will say,
What tips?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm on a group, okay, a Facebook group,
Mhm.
and what happened is BOQ, when you get here, they send out this mass email, and they're using Gmail, okay. So if you get a Gmail with BOQ on it, I thought it was a scam. I thought, well, what's this? A Gmail? It says BOQ on it. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, right. But it really is. They're using Gmail account, and they mass email out for us 228 people that arrived a document saying, okay, BOQ is going to contact you in 1 or 2 days. Be ready to go. They're going to swoop you up out of the hotel and take you to a facility. And it could be today, could be tomorrow, but in a couple days. And I'm like, oh, okay, So one guy goes ahead and emails everybody on the list. They didn't BCC it. It just everybody could see everybody's email, right?
Oh, wow.
And he created a Facebook group. And so we all got on this Facebook group. And, what touches me, and I see a little bit out there in the media, is you got overseas Filipinos that work in Hong Kong, they work Singapore, wherever they're working, and they're complaining. They're like, hey, I don't have enough money for this hotel.
Oh, boy.
And all the BOQ facilities, from what I hear, are filled up. So they're having to pay, some overseas Filipinos, maybe they make $600, $700 a month, whatever. And here you are with a, $600 or $700 hotel bill. That's a whole month wage just
Right.
to, it's a chunk of change,
Right.
And they're pleading, please pick me up. We want to go to your facility. I can't afford. I ran out of money to eat.
Oh, boy.
And it's on the news too. You can look at it on the news. So like I said, plan into your budget. An extra $1,200. That's minimum, and you'll be all right. But I feel for some of these stories. Another lady, Joe, she's here to visit her father, who's stage 4 cancer, and BOQ's not releasing her. And
Oh,
you
gosh.
see all these stories, and you're just like, wow. So, it's tough, really tough.
Right, and then you got people that are returning to see their families from the typhoon, right? And they've got to quarantine, and they want to send money back, and now they have to pay for these expensive quarantines. So, oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Just,
These some of the overseas Filipinos, they've saved up for 2 years to come back and see their family, and a lot of them are coming back because the house got destroyed in a typhoon or whatever, and for sad things, and they're having to spend all their money on food and hotel. So yeah, sorry, my phone's ringing in the back, but I'm not gonna get it.
okay. All right, so we got about 3 minutes, and then we're going to do
All
a
right.
group chat with everybody, and then we're going to go through the questions, you guys. So what tips do you have that you want to tell people if they're on the way to the Philippines? What should they plan for? Anything?
So for tips, sorry man, this phone's killing me back there.
Sorry.
Front desk, they want to see my credit card.
Right.
They're good about contacting me for that. The tips is bring stuff from home. Bring some food, some snacks. Bring Snickers bars, whatever comfort food you need. Bring supplies. You are able to get water and stuff. Don't worry about that. But also bring.
Tim Marsh, you want to get that?
Yeah, hold on.
Go
One
ahead and
second.
get it.
Sorry.
All right. So we got Bob back here. All right. So we're going to let him take his phone because the front desk needs to get a hold of him. So
Yeah.
here's what we're going to
I
do,
don't
guys.
think they're going to give up.
I
They're
don't
probably
think they're
wanting
either.
something.
I think they want that money.
Yeah.
They're like, give me the damn money.
Yeah.
Answer the phone, and we're going to come knocking on your door. So, all right.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to these comments, you guys. So good morning, and thank you for everyone that has attended the live stream and the people that have actually wrote something on here. So let's scrub through here. So good morning, Mr. Ron. So Mr. Ron has been around to this channel for a long time, and welcome. So good morning, Vern and everyone. Let's see if I can get these. Good morning, Vern and everyone here in Davao City, Philippines. Welcome, Davao. All right, so we've got another one from Mr. Ron. Vern, I'm old enough to remember Ernest. Yes, you are. I will say that. All right, so let me scroll up some of these. Okay, so Mr. Ron says, we didn't get the typhoon here in Davao City, but it did go north of you guys, and I don't know how many hours it is up to where was it? What's that other surfing place? San Juan La Union would know. Just north of Davao. I'm trying to think of what it is. Let's see if he's off his phone yet. Let's see. Are you ready, partner?
Yeah.
Hey, what is that surfing place just north of Davao that got hit really hard with the typhoon?
Shargo?
Shargo, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so Shargo got hit. Now, Mr. Ron said he didn't get hit in Davao, and that's good. Now, if you are an expat planning to go to the Philippines, did you get your phone? Or is that something new going on? I don't know what that beeping is, guys. So sorry. All right.
Not
so
on my end.
So A&F says hello. And let's see, I'm going to scroll through some of these comments, you guys. Not sure what that beeping is, so I apologize. Hi, Mr. Ron. All right. So AF says Geo. And Mr. Ron says, yep, me and I had coffee with him a couple days ago. A&F, okay. All right. So I'm going to scroll through these. So, hey, Roy, welcome. I've been through 2 typhoons in Boracay and Subic. Both were not too scary. Yeah. If you're in the Philippines, you're going to go through a typhoon. That's just part of it. Like 20 a year. Not a good deal.
Yeah, not all of them
right.
are bad. Well, they're not good, but I mean, they're not like the level this one was. So.
Oof. Right. All right. So, Roy asked, does Bob have a channel? Do you have a channel, Bob?
Not really. I mean, I have a custom computer business thing that I have, but it's just all about computer stuff. It's not really about my daily life, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever do an actual channel. I'm not too excited about being like a blogger or anything like that, and stuff. And if I make videos, it's just for family, just to share my experiences, family and friends of where I'm at, what I'm doing, that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't get too serious. I'm a bit camera shy, so I just don't get too serious about it.
Okay. And then Roy says, I have a vlog on the one in Boracay. I didn't know that, Roy. I'll have to check that out. All right, so Mr. Ron says we are supposed to go to the Japanese bunkers when Gio gets back from his trip. Oh, that's kind of fun. The Japanese bunkers. I don't know that I've been to that part, but I've been to the last stronghold up in Valencia where the Japanese were before they surrendered, which is kind of interesting. That's up on Negros Island if you guys get a chance. There's a cool museum, a war museum there also. All right, so what else do we have? Do you have anything for you guys? So welcome, John. A month after the typhoon where I am in Cebu City, there's still not electricity or running water or internet in a lot of homes. So are you guys also hearing that where you are? No internet? No power?
Yeah, here, in that stretch along Negros Oriental, they're chipping away at it. They're making some progress, but just like anywhere else, you can imagine, it starts with the primary lines. So it's just along the highway first. And even along the main highway, they still don't have power in every city yet, and wow. So anything off that primary, they won't see power for a while unless they're extremely lucky. But no, I mean, we're talking miles of power lines that are tangled, and the power poles, they have wood, they have concrete, they have steel, and it didn't matter what they are, they went down. They wow. all, for long stretches, and the wires it's just like, the power wires are like, if you ever had just a big wad of rope or right. something and you tried to untangle it, that's what the power lines look like. I mean,
totally.
I've been actually, with our relief efforts, we made special goodie bags for the power guys
awesome.
Working on the line. So as we were driving, we would stop if we saw their trucks, and we would hand them cookies and different stuff, and they're pretty happy about that because they're working nonstop. So they're really trying. But yeah, the power's not restored. It'll probably be, some people, it might be 2 months or longer, and stuff. Oof. But and it's not just here, even like, well, John, I know John, and he's in Cebu City, and it is a huge mess in Cebu City, and they're wow. still trying to restore things there.
Okay. Yeah, Bohol just got wiped out, so I can't imagine they're going to be looking good
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
What a mess. All right. So John says Bob doesn't have a channel, but I hope he'll start one. At Roy, he's a great guy. There you go. You got some supporters there.
Shucks.
All
Thanks.
right, Roy says thanks. And Mr. Ron says the difference. Let's see. The difference is what they are called in different hemispheres.
Oh,
Okay?
he's referring to hurricane and typhoon.
Okay. Jordan, welcome. I'm late again. Hi, everyone. Good to see you, Jordan. Glad you could make it here. All right. So, Jordan, good morning. Good evening. Then we have Mr. Ron. It's a good day. Let's see. All right. So, Jordan says, I've been through a few cyclones here in Australia. Wouldn't wish the experience on anyone. I've been amazed at the stoicism of the Philippine people. I tell you what, I've never seen people that can bounce back, and in tragedy, they just have their smile. And it just, I don't know, they've got every reason to be angry and upset and cry, but my gosh, they just have a strength and a backbone I've never seen on anybody else. It just, the people are so amazing in that way. You know, and I know you guys would agree, and you're seeing it firsthand. You know,
Yeah,
see it
for sure.
firsthand. That's a testimony to the Filipino people, and that's what I miss, you guys. I can't find the Filipino spirit anywhere I've been traveling, anywhere, and that's why I can't wait to get back to feel that again. All right, so Steve says, "Hey, welcome, Steve. In my barangay, they lashed together 4 pieces of thick bamboo in a rectangle shape and lashed 2 sets of those on top of a metal roof." Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have you guys ever built anything like that? Have you had a chance to do any building, Mark? Have you worked with bamboo or watched them do that with the lashing, the plastic twine? Oh, maybe Mark's locked up.
It might be frozen.
So
I think I'm here.
I haven't. Oh, you are. Have you had the experience of watching them build anything with bamboo and the plastic fishing line?
I think.
Yes, no, maybe there's a delay there.
I think he's frozen.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next part. So Mr. Ron, I'll try to get through these comments. We've got 8 minutes, you guys. Mr. Ron says Gio's generator ran out of gas. He had damage, loss of power, and flooding in his condo. You know, I was chatting Gio, and he was going through that, and he was really, really scared. He said the wind was howling through the thing, and his condo, 8-story condo, started shaking, and the rain was coming in sideways. And what do? He's in downtown, and when you have buildings that are close together, the wind picks up speed, so it's even accelerated faster than it would be in a normal open scenario. And I wouldn't want to be there, you know, in any situation going through a hurricane. And you know, what do? And then after everything was out, there was no water, there's no power, and do you worry about your safety? People coming to get your stuff? You don't know. It's just it's an unknowing situation. So, my gosh, did you guys hear of anything bad happen? Like anybody doing bad things to get supplies?
I can say that I did hear that in Cebu, things were getting a little bit sketchy, you know, because they, you know, people don't realize how much everything is affected when something like this happens, because you have no power. Well, okay, no power, no big deal. Well, it is a big deal because a lot of things require power. ATMs require power. They also require communications. Communications are down, or the power's down, both, whatever. You're not getting cash. So if you don't have cash, you're not buying anything. And so if there is gas to buy, you can't buy it. And but the gas stations aren't working anyway, because guess what? No power, so the pumps can't run. So people, I mean, it just compounds the entire thing. And then no water. If you're on a well, you don't have a pump to pump the water. So, and then, you know, I mean, all the way down the line. And so desperate times, you know, get scary real fast. You have people who are otherwise perfectly normal, great people that when they get scared and they get desperate, they will do things they would never normally do. And there's a lot of that was going on, and you know, people get scared, and you know, in the province, you know, where I'm at, it's not a big city, but it was the same situation. Now, luckily, you know, some of the places have generators here and there and stuff, but you know, people still they get scared, and there were situations, like I had to be careful doing relief runs, in the truck, because if you stop along the highway, there's people lined along the highway on both sides, and they're just begging for like some help, from somebody, some fresh water. They're holding out little bottles and little cups and just hoping you'll drive by and pour a little water in there. And if you stop and you have a truckload of relief goods, it's going to be gone out of the back of that truck before you even get your door open, and so and I know people are normally not like that, but like I said, desperation sets in, so and one guy, he was in the corner, he had his wallet stolen because he went to deliver goods and left the door unlocked, and when he wasn't looking, somebody reached, he must have had his wallet out in the open, and so somebody reached in, just opportunity. So but nothing really seriously bad.
Okay, well that's all right, so we got to get through these comments. We got 5 minutes, you guys. So welcome A&F. A&F is a long-time watcher of the channel. So he says, my wife has a house in Cebu Island, got hit hard there. Very sorry for that. In fact, I'm looking forward to going down and visiting you in Cebu when I do get back. And then he also says, lucky your house is made of concrete, so some damage to roof and windows, but mostly all other houses made of lumber. Most got huge damage and demolished. That's really tragic. I really feel for the people that had to go through that. I mean, where do you start? And everything's just obliterated. All right, so Mr. Ron says, all we got in Davao was light rain. Very lucky. Now, I know friends in Cagayan de Oro, and they had massive flooding there, so you guys just got right out of that. All right, so Vern, how's the dating scene there? I wouldn't know. I'm too busy vlogging. All right, so we've got just a few more questions. Jordan says, did places not hit directly get storm surges? That's a good question. I don't know. Did places not get hit directly get storm surges? Do you guys know?
I'm not 100% sure, but, storm surge is, just a big volume of water that's getting pushed, I believe, by wind, and so it's most likely going to hit in the areas that are getting affected, because they're in the area of the wind. But I would guess there's a chance that there's some off to the sides areas that are going to get hurt, though, because water can travel a long ways. A big wave can go forever. Stuff. I would imagine there are some places that got hit.
All right, so Kit Kat's welcome, says thank you, Bob. And then Bill's a longtime friend. I went to high school with Bill, and he's also a computer model.
Oh my God, we have a celebrity in the house.
Bill says Bob's a good man. So Bill's got a channel called MNPC Tech. Very popular. He's been at it for about 10 years. Good guy.
My idol.
So, So he came because he knew you'd be on, Bob. I told him. And Jordan says, thanks, Bob. And then AF says, Bob did more than the Philippine government did. Wow. That's very cool. I appreciate all
I don't know if that's
done.
true. I know that they've stepped it up pretty good. I see the trucks out.
All right. And Tino says that Kit Kats, yes, Bob helps the people who really need help. Very awesome. All right, so we just got a few more here. And hey, Zane, good to see you, my friend. Hey, Vern and Surfer Bob, San Juan La Union. I made it into the stream. Hoping you both are doing well. How you doing, San Juan La Union? Can you hear us? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just kind of listening to all these things about Odette and everything. My thoughts and prayers are to you guys out there. Just hang in there.
Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, we just got a few more comments, you guys, in 2 minutes. Zane says, I made it into the stream. I don't have any questions, but I'm here. I'm really glad to have you, Zane. All right, so my other friend here, Quintus Armas, if I said that right. I'm not DJ. Vern Travels. Wow. You live? Awesome. Thank you. Hello to you, my friend. Glad to see you could make it also. All right, so A&F says, it's San Juan La Union blog. If you're coming from USA and have dollars, with all the quarantine hotels, accept the dollar and change it to peso for you. Will they change your currency if you're in the hotel? Do you know San Juan La Union?
Yeah, my hotel's been pretty helpful. I needed some eye drops, and I gave him some pesos and a prescription, which I got from a friend, and they were able to go across the street to Robinson's, get me my prescription. And there's also a money changer across the street, so if they wouldn't do it at the hotel, I could give them some dollars and they would go across the street and change them into pesos for me. But just one other thing, get it done at the airport. You might get a little lower rate, but there's a money exchange at the airport. Do it before you leave, just to, so you know you have it on hand with you.
Nice. All right, so we just got a few more comments. Welcome, Scott. And he says phone call might be important. Yeah, it's good that we had him get that. So thank you for joining the stream. And then we have Don. Don Manuro says, Mark, how many days to go? Is today the last day? Do you have to swab test and then you can go today or go tomorrow? What is going on, Mark?
Today is my last day. The BOQ is supposed to email me a certificate. So they email you a certificate saying that you've done your 10 days of quarantine and you're good to go. And then you can use that for travel or load it for your S-Pass or whatever you need. Yeah, but it's going to be a full 15 days, and on the 16th day I'm released. So, like I said, be prepared. Bring and have a budget, $1,200, and bring supplies.
Awesome. Well, you guys have been great. I really appreciate your stories. It helps connect me to the Philippines. It helps other people connect to the experiences. And we have the 5 topics for this channel, and those topics that we discussed today were important to the people that wanted to know about them. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Our travel chat number 3. And I hope to have you guys on again, because I know you guys would be a wealth of information for some of the other topics that we have coming up, you guys. So thank you very much.
Hey,
right,
Vern.
thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next time.
All right, man.
Yeah.